This is our review of the Axial Bomber RTR. It goes for around $400 and includes a tactic radio and the car. So now let's talk about the electronics that come stock in this vehicle. You get the Axial 35-turn brush motor with their AE5 new ESC, which I think is a really nice ESC. Then you also get their tactic metal geared servo, which is a complete lie. So first, let's talk about the servo. Right now I have a Savox in here because the tactic was not metal geared. There's the weakest gear in the car is plastic geared. It's completely pointless. I took this car out of the box, and within 5 minutes of running, I had stripped the servo horn and the first gear in the servo. It was so stupid. I kept replacing the gears, thinking it was just like a one-time thing, but it kept on happening. So if you get this car, you're gonna instantly have to upgrade your servo. So now onto the motor and ESC. You can't see it under the roll cage, but right now I'm not running the AE5. I accidentally smoked mine by reversing the polarities, trying to put in a winch. So right now I'm just running the stock system out of the Yeti score, which is the Vanguard ESC and their Vanguard motor. So what I've broken on this car. I broke my front arms up here, my front lower links, and then I also stripped the servo, as you heard earlier, and the servo horn. Now, that's about all I've broken, like, parts-wise, but I've fried multiple motors. I can't even count how many. And I've only had this car for a year, but brushed motors are only about $10. But once you get going for a long time, the price starts to add up. So now on to some of the upgrades I've put into this car. Those include a Savox servo and the Axial aluminum servo horn up front. Then I've also put on some aluminum lower links right here. And then also what we're running are these extra speed shocks, which we are testing out. They sent these to us, and there's going to be a review coming on these soon. Then I'm also running a Vanguard brushless motor and ESC inside of here because I kept burning out motors and ESCs in this car.
So first pro we're going to talk about this vehicle is the looks. As you can see, it looks very scale and looks just like Randy Slosson's Bomber from The Real King of Hammers. A lot of people like this aspect, and its license, which also adds to the effect. Another pro is the performance. This car is really good at going fast, and it's really good at jumping, and it's really good at crawling. When you're jumping, it soars really well through the air, and it's even a better jumper than the Yeti, which I find to be pretty unpredictable in jumping. It comes down sometimes nose heavy or rear heavy. Out of the box, I'd say it crawls better almost than a stock Wraith. My friend has a Wraith, and we've compared them. And the final thing with speed, it handles speed really well. It can stay in a straight line really well at speeds. It handles some rougher terrain well at speeds, but it does not like to turn at those speeds. But this high center of gravity and being a little bit narrow of a car, it will roll over.
So now for the cons of this vehicle. First off, being the servo. It is complete crap. You're going to have to replace that and the servo horn. And that'll instantly set you back about $30 to $40. The next thing are the rims. Now, the tires and rims look good. They just came terribly glued from the factory. Look, I can just peel it apart with my fingers. And then, especially with how soft these tires are, and it just folds in corners, the rims always are popping off the bead. The only other cons to this vehicle I can think of are turning at high speeds and these lower links up front. Otherwise, this is a great car, and I recommend it to everyone. So now time for our wrap-up. Who do I recommend this car to? Anyone who wants to be able to crawl, but also be able to rip across a grass field and hit some tricky terrain. You 4 drivers would love this truck. It is becoming one of the more popular trucks in that category. And then just people who are really into having a scale, realistic car, they would also love having this.
Thanks for watching.